Hi everybody, this is Cassandra from the unpluggedfamily.com, and I'm doing something a little different today. I am doing a video to help explain how we plan our 5-in-a-row unit studies. I've had a ton of questions about this, and I've tried to write a post explaining and outlining how I plan our years and our units, but it's been so challenging, so I've decided to make a video. Hopefully I can keep it under 5 minutes, just a really quick recap of how we plan our year and then how we plan individual rows, just to encourage those of you who love the idea of 5-in-a-row but have a little bit of a challenge implementing it into your homeschool. So the first thing that I wanted to show is just our kind of where we keep our 5-in-a-row stuff. I do keep it separate because it's really important to us, and these books have a lot of memories, and we just like to keep them safe and clean and tidy and all together, and they're also ready when we want to row them again. So this is where we keep them all, their volumes 1 through 4 with all of our guides in the wooden box on the left. And so basically I wanted to show you some of the files that I made up that are available for free on the Facebook page linked to 5-in-a-row, which I will put, I will link to actually at the bottom of this post as well. So here's our first planning page that I made up. I love planning pages. But this one is basically just listing which children will be doing which book from which volume and what dates you sort of loosely plan to do it. I did this by month. You could do it by season. This really helps me visualize what my year will look like. For now, I really only have the fall kind of planned out, but I've also been able to put in the books that work well in each season. So for instance, we've got, how to make an apple pie works really well for autumn and the apple harvest in Southern Ontario, so I've got it in there for October, so I don't forget to do that book and get to the springtime and say, oh, we should have done this row in the fall, it would have been so much better. So that's what that does, and they will probably change. This is kind of similar, except for that what I've done here is I've given the ability to write in the titles under each month. And what this does is it helps me to visualize how much I've plugged into each month so that I'm not putting too much. At first I had, I think, 4 or 5 titles all in September because I get excited about September. And then I realized that that was going to be way too many titles for that month. So I was able to sort of visualize how the year was shaping up. So now on to planning a row. I'm going to show you what I did for our planning of our most recent row, which is Salamander Room, because it's fresh in my mind. So the first thing I would do is I would acquire the book. If I didn't own the book, I would see if it's available at the library. I'd probably have this pre-planned. Most of the books that I row I own, so I'm going to grab the book and give it a read. If I've already read it, I'll refresh my memory by reading it again. Oftentimes I get a lot of ideas when I read the book. Then I will read through the manual. Every single paragraph, every single activity I will read and make sure that I'm making notes. I'm starring the ones that we for sure want to do, and I'm also adding my own little notes and ideas. Oftentimes I'll put a little NB, capital NB, which means notebooking, which basically just reminds me that that would be a good thing to add to our notebook. So I always have lots of highlighting and penciling on all of the different activities that are suggested in the guide. So once I've done that, I'm just going to flip to where I have my example of when here's the planning our row for Salamander Room. So this is a notebook, this is a page, I guess it's my own notebooking page that I use to plan, and it's really, really helpful. So I've got notebooking, lapbooking, printouts. I will list everything that I want to put in our notebook, things that I need to print, things that we're going to work on, whether we're doing maps, whether we're going to use, Draw Right Now. Alex is going to do the frog from Draw Right Now, and that helps me get organized. Then I'm going to list the outings and recipes and other activities that we're going to do. And here I've got additional books. I've got a section for books that we own from our own shelves and books from the library that I've either checked out or that I've put on hold. Usually by this time I'll have them in the house. And then of course the materials we need. So I had Get Salt for Salt Dough because we were doing some salt dough salamanders when we did our row of the Salamander Room. Then from there I would go to our weekly schedule. This one I've color-coded because I'm really visual, so it helps me. And would be for the children that are doing the row. So we've got each day of the week. We did row this for 5 days. And this kind of outlines the activities. Some of them are directly from the 5 in a row teacher's guide. Some of them are things that I've added on, or just read alouds that I've added in that I thought went well with that particular row. So that gives you a bit of an idea. All of these files that I've shown you, I have uploaded to the 5 in a row Facebook page for free, so I will link to that for sure. And then here's an example of what I'm working on actually today, which is Rocks the Box and planning for that. So very similar to what I had on the other sheet, just different books, different activities. And then I've got my pile here of all the books that we're going to use for our row of Rocks the Box, in which I've kind of got to the side right now. Now that I'm done this, my next step would be to plug it into my weekly schedule. So I'm going to decide what books we're going to read when and what activities we're going to do on which day. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes we switch things around depending on how our days go. Another thing that I can show you is in our drawers down here is where I would put our activities. So this is Alex's. We're really lucky to actually have 3 copies of Rocks the Boxin', so each child can have their own copy of the book while we're rowing. And then this is their clipboard where they would have, sorry, it's really bright, just things that are going to go in your notebook. You know, we've got printouts here from the Fold and Learn, and just different activities that we're going to work on would be on that, and they would go into the notebooks. And then this one is Audrey's, so she has a little bit more advanced printouts that she's going to put into her notebook as well. So they're going to find that on the first day of the row. And then actually this is just Simon's folder here. He's not working on 5 in a row right now. He's doing some other notebooking, history notebooking for Canadian history. So anyways, I hope that's helpful. I think I've covered all the bases. I just want to encourage you that if you love 5 in a row and the curriculum really touches your heart, I would encourage you to please try it, because it is a wonderful program. It has blessed our family so much. It does take a little bit of effort. You know, I kind of go to the extreme because that's my personality, but you can plan it however you like. I just wanted to offer some insight and hopefully some encouragement. So I hope this video is helpful to you, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.